Good Monday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Garden State Weather Premium on YouTube, Garden State WX on Twitter, which I'm not on today because I have too much going on, and Facebook, Garden State Weather. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. I wanted to go over a couple of things going into this forecast for this weekend. Want to talk about the storm tracks and the possibilities of a snowstorm here, model by model. Now, first off, we're going to look at the GEFS, which is the ensemble spread with 31 members in it or something like that um, for Saturday and Sunday. Now, the consensus here, and this is off the 12Z model guidance this morning, is that this area here in the lighter greens has the most model consensus of where the storm track will be on Saturday afternoon. Okay, but there are other members here on the western fringe and also members on the eastern fringe. When we go into the EPS cyclones for the same period here, again, the spread from 6Z this morning is coming in again offshore, okay? But then again, as it bombs out south of Long Island at 983, 974, 979 here, all the members are east, but there are still west-based members here in the lighter shaded circles of green here, or the darker shaded circles of green. So we cannot discount any of these models and their guidances going forward with the actual evolution of where the center of the storm will be. A couple of key factors that we just don't know yet, and I've explained this multiple times. If you want any kind of storm in the subtropical branch and the polar branch, forget about slowing things down. There is no NAO that is negative to slow the storm down. It does turn positive to negatively tilted on all model guidance. The question mark here is the ridge axis here and all the energy off of the west coast. And let's change this back to North America here, and here you go. So let's go back to Saturday and Sunday. Now, this ridge axis is not terrific here, okay? And there is more disturbances here in the polar branch off of the Aleutian Islands, and this stream here is too fast. So the ridge axis here needs to be amplified, and we forget about it. We don't have any blocking here in the North Atlantic, so everything is moving fast. So in order to make these pieces work together to form any kind of formidable winter storm here, other than New England, Eastern Long Island, and Nova Scotia here, and you can see the European model guidance from last night doing this at the 500 millibar level, but the ridge axis here is off. It's not great. So there are question marks with that. And if we looked at the European model guidance from this morning, and go back here to Saturday, again, sees the trough going negative and the energy involved in it, but the ridge axis here is off. It's not great. And there's just too many perturbations here over in the Pacific on the polar flow that would disrupt this from being a coastal storm for New Jersey or New York, but maybe for Maine and maybe for New England. And then the pattern just really, changes unfavorably so. A couple of other things. Hold on. Again, the disparity in the model guidance is very clear here because the GFS wants to take a 985 millibar low off of the east coast of New Jersey, first of all the Carolinas, and then deepen it rapidly off the southern New England coast down to like 948, 982 millibars here. So it brings snow, the GFS does, to the area, but again, we talked about the model guidance and how far spread they are right now. And again, it all really comes down to the ridge axis in the west and the perturbations out over the Pacific, because we don't have an NAO. We just don't. So let's go back here and look at the teleconnections once again. And this is the latest on all model guidance from this morning. Actually, this is last night. This morning's model guidance hasn't come in yet, but we discussed this. This is a situation where it doesn't really look good for blocking. 12Z European model guidance hasn't come in yet, but this is significant because it shows snow showers here on Friday afternoon, well ahead of the storm developing in the south, and then the coastal storm takes hold and it bombs out well east of the benchmark, but still on the western fringes it's showing snow and ice, and then eventually into southern New England and away into Nova Scotia, and also into Maine and New Hampshire it goes, bombing out in that direction because we don't have blocking here. Let's take a look at North America once again. Let's go back to the 500 millibar heights. And again, when this storm comes off and running off the east coast here, as it's showing up, but there is no blocking here. There's no negative NAO. So, and there's such speed in the polar jet and a buckling here that it's going to take everything to make this storm happen for someone, but we're not so sure still about the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia I-95 corridor just yet. And I'm sure we're going to have a better sampling of this disturbance as it evolves. But right now, all that data is well off the West Coast, and it's not going to be sampled correctly by satellite and model data either at this point. Probably get a better idea of this on Wednesday. So I do believe the trends going forward into Wednesday, when we actually sample all of these short waves into the model guidance, we'll have a better, clearer picture of what is possible here and what is not. And when we look at the United States, the East Coast here, and our low pressure areas here, as we get into this weekend, we'll have a clearer picture of what's going forward here. Whether it's going to be east-based, or do some of these members make sense on both the EFS and also on the European model guidance. And these are the ensemble members. Obviously, this will be translated back to the operational models as we get a better handle on the data. So that's it for now. Garden State Weather Premium on YouTube, subscribe. Garden State Weather on Facebook, you can subscribe and follow us there. And Garden State WX on Twitter when I'm on. But I have a very busy afternoon today, so I won't be on Twitter that much. That's your broadcast for this afternoon, and have a beautiful Monday afternoon.